Hey, practice community, welcome to this week's Monday message. This month, we're exploring Dharma here in the community. You can go back to the last couple of weeks of messages. We started by talking about the intersection, then we dove into doubt as a doorway. And today, I want to explore the topic of commitment or action or passionate action. Just a reminder, the way that we're looking at Dharma is twofold. On one hand, Dharma is your sacred duty, your purpose, not necessarily or always going to be your vocation. I think you can certainly find Dharma in your vocation. I'm sure for so many of you, myself included, my work feels very Dharmic in nature because it's the thing that brings forth my own gifts and my own desire for bringing those gifts into the world in service to others. That is Dharma. But I also find Dharma in lots of other places of my life that make me no money because that's not its purpose. But today I want to bring in a quote from Lynn Twist's new book, Living a Committed Life. I'll pop a link below. I highly recommend it. It is a book about Dharma in her own way and in her own language. And she says this in the first couple pages of that book. She says, rather than putting all our energy into trying to protect what we have, we can focus our imagination and our efforts on recreating and regenerating all of our human systems for the next phase of evolution. There's never been a time when we needed inspired action more than now. That last piece of the quote, there's never been a time when we needed inspired action more than now. And for me and to me, Dharma is inspired action. Inspired, if we look at the root of the word inspired, actually, this is playful. It means to bring forth your highest self or your true nature. Inspiration comes from the word inspirata, to be endowed with the divine. So not to get too meta on y'all, but to say when we're inspired and we take inspired action, we're taking action that comes from our truest selves, our innate self. And our innate self is packed with gifts and passions and curiosities and hungers and desires for the world. And it's also packed with capacity and capability and skill and interest and challenge to bring those gifts up and out into and for service of others. And so when we think about this piece of Dharma that is in all of us, there's no person on the planet who doesn't have Dharma. That is one way to look at it. There's no person on the planet who isn't here to imbue themselves and others with their gifts. I believe that. And so inspired action, looking at your Dharma, not just as something that is good for you, but good for the planet, good for our entire ecosystem, and good for the generations to come. I think we're at this is not just my opinion, it's an informed opinion, we're at a pretty critical juncture in history and an incredible juncture and one of grave possibility, but also grave consequence if we don't pay attention and pay attention now. And I guarantee that your Dharma is your way of paying attention in the world in a way that truly matters, because that's what Dharma always does. Dharma always points us back to the need of the times, bringing forth who we already are at our core to tend to the need of the times. And I would add, in only the way that you can. And I want to read you one more quote. This is out of Stephen Cope's book, The Great Work of Your Life, which is our book giveaway for the month of May. If you haven't already, make sure and get into that giveaway. But he says, when you commit fully to the task at hand, the abundance of your commitment itself has magic in it. And commitment and inspired action or passionate action all go together. And for how many of you, and myself included, I'm in this camp as well, can be committed to so many things at a surface level, but dedicated to so few at a level of great depth. In other words, where are you dabbling and where do you need to go all in? And when we go all in, when we're speaking about Dharma, we go all in on fewer things, but with more intention and more purpose, what we might call commitment or dedication or decision. We decide to focus. We decide to, as Krishna says to Arjuna in the Gita, not vacillate, but be all in. And that can be scary. We like options. We like choices. We like to just make sure there's no stone left unturned. But the word decide actually means to cut off. And so when we make a commitment that is inspired in nature and is going to take us into this compound effect of committed action, passionate action, inspired action, which creates more magic for us and in our lives, we are only doing that because we've actively decided to not pursue other things. So my invitation for you is this: where in your work as a coach and a practitioner at this moment today, where are you dabbling? Where are you hesitating? And where are you ready to go all in? And if you were to go all in, what are the things that you would let go, put down, leave behind in dedication of going all in? All right, y'all. That's my message for you today. Here we are in the month of May. Next week, we're going to pivot as we get ready for June, and we look forward to working on next month, calling in our perfect clients, perfect in quotations, which is a natural extension of Dharma, because when you know who you are, you know who you're here to serve. And that's what we're going to look at next month. As always, there are recommendations and resources below. Be sure and put your name in for that book giveaway this month, enter that giveaway, and I'll see you all in the community. All right, take care. Bye for now.